The council chamber erupts in chaos as Alpha Marcus slams his fist on the ancient oak table, his voice cutting through the murmurs like a blade. Enough! If Arya claims she's one of us, let her prove it. Shift, now, before the entire council. Arya's heart hammers against her ribs as she stands in the center of the circular chamber, surrounded by the 12 most powerful alphas in the Western Territory. For 8 years, she's lived among the Shadow Moon Pack as their head cook, invisible in her faded apron and flour-dusted hands, serving meals and tending the packhouse kitchen from dawn until midnight. No one questioned why she never attended pack runs. No one wondered why she always volunteered for duties during the full moon. She was just Arya, quiet, humble, useful Arya, who made the best honey cakes and never caused trouble. Until today. Until Beta Derek's mate caught a scent on her that didn't match any known pack line. She's been lying to us for years, Derek snarls from his position near the alpha. My mate's nose doesn't lie. This woman carries no pack scent. She's either a rogue who infiltrated us, or she's something else entirely. Something dangerous. Alpha Marcus's second-in-command, Garrett, crosses his muscular arms. The law is clear. Any wolf living among a pack must prove their nature before the council if their bloodline is questioned, shift or face exile as a human pretender. Arya's hands tremble. She thinks of little Emma, the alpha's 6-year-old daughter who toddles into the kitchen every morning for warm milk and a hug. She thinks of the elderly wolves she tends when their arthritis flares, bringing them special teas and heating pads. She thinks of the young wolves she's counseled through their first shifts, staying up all night to make sure they didn't hurt themselves in their panic. I can explain, she whispers, but her voice is lost in the jeering. Explain what? That you're a fraud? Derek's mate, Vivian, steps forward, her perfectly manicured nails pointing accusingly. You've been eating our food, sleeping under our roof, pretending to be one of us. For all we know, you're a spy for the Bloodfang Pack. They've been trying to find our weaknesses for months. That's not true, Arya says louder now. I would never betray this pack. You're my family. Family shifts together, Marcus says coldly. His daughter Emma is nowhere to be seen. They've sent the children away for this trial. You have 30 seconds, Arya. Shift, or you leave these lands tonight with nothing but the clothes on your back. And if you're truly a rogue, you know what that means. You'll be hunted by every pack in a 1,000-mile radius. The death sentence hangs in the air. Rogues don't survive long alone. Arya closes her eyes. She's kept this secret since before she has memories, since the old woman who raised her died and whispered with her last breath. Never let them see what you really are. They'll either worship you or destroy you, and both will steal your freedom. But freedom means nothing if she loses everyone she's come to love. I'm not a rogue, she says quietly, and I'm not a spy. Then shift, Garrett roars. What's the problem, girl? Unless you can't because you're human, and if that's the case, you've broken sacred law by living among our kind without permission. The council members lean forward in their seats, their eyes gleaming with predatory interest. Some look curious. Others look hungry for her humiliation. She recognizes a few who've always resented her closeness to the Alpha's daughter, who've whispered that it's inappropriate for a mere cook to have such access to pack royalty. Arya takes a shaky breath and reaches for the zipper of her simple cotton dress. If I do this, there's no going back. The only thing that matters is the truth, Marcus says, though something flickers in his eyes. Is it concern? She's made him breakfast every morning for 8 years, always remembering he likes his coffee black with 1 sugar, always setting aside the corner pieces of cornbread because she knows they're his favorite. Has he ever really seen her? She lets the dress pool at her feet, standing in her plain undergarments before the council. Humiliation burns her cheeks, but she forces herself to remain still, dignified. Then she reaches for the wolf inside her, the presence she's kept locked away for so long. Except when she calls, something else answers. The shift takes her like lightning. There's no gradual bone-breaking transformation like the wolves around her experience. One moment she's human, vulnerable, exposed. The next, power explodes through every cell in her body. Gold light floods the chamber, so bright several council members cry out and shield their eyes. Heat washes over the assembled wolves like the breath of a summer sun at midnight. When the light fades, Arya stands on 4 legs at the center of the council chamber. But she is not a wolf. She's bigger than any wolf in the room, nearly the size of a small horse. Her fur ripples with colors that shouldn't exist in nature. Deep gold at the base, bleeding into rose gold at the tips, with threads of pure silver and copper winding through her coat like precious metals woven by an artist's hand. Her eyes blaze amber shot through with veins of gold. But it's the wings that make the council collectively gasp, massive, luminous wings that arch from her shoulders, feathered in the same metallic gold, tipped with flame orange and deep crimson, a phoenix wolf, the rarest shifter line in existence, thought to be extinct for over 3 centuries. The council chamber falls into absolute silence. Then, one by one, starting with the eldest alpha in the far corner, the council members drop to their knees. It's instinctive, bone-deep, the recognition of ancient royalty of power that predates modern pack structures by millennia. Even Alpha Marcus sinks slowly to one knee, his eyes wide with shock and something else. Wonder, fear, reverence. Only Derek remains standing, his face twisted with fury. This is a trick, some kind of illusion. Phoenix wolves are extinct, everyone knows that. But his protest sounds hollow, even to his own ears. The power radiating from Arya's form is undeniable, pressing against every wolf in the room like a physical force. It's not threatening, it's simply there, vast and warm and utterly foreign to anything they've experienced. Garrett, still on his knees, whispers hoarsely. The prophecies, the old texts in the archive, they spoke of the Phoenix Wolf's return when the packs faced their greatest darkness. Arya shifts back to human form in another flash of golden light, and suddenly she's standing naked in the center of kneeling alphas, her body illuminated by the lingering afterglow of her transformation. She grabs her dress and clutches it to her chest, her face burning with embarrassment and anger and a strange, unexpected sense of loss. The secret she's protected all her life is gone, exposed under the harsh judgment of wolves who've treated her as beneath notice. "I told you I wasn't a rogue," she says, and her voice comes out harder than she intends. "May I go now?" "Go?" Marcus rises slowly, and there's a new awareness in his gaze as he looks at her, really looks at her for the first time. "Arya, do you understand what you are?" "I understand that I'm still the same person who made your daughter breakfast this morning," she says quietly. "The same person who served this pack for 8 years without asking for anything except a safe place to sleep. The same person you were ready to exile 3 minutes ago." The barb hits home. Marcus actually flinches. The eldest council member, a silver-haired alpha named Coleman, who leads the Nightshade pack, speaks in a voice rough with age and awe. "Forgive us, Phoenix-born. We didn't know. We couldn't have known." "I didn't want you to know," Arya says. She pulls her dress over her head with shaking hands, armor against their sudden attention. "The woman who raised me warned me. She said if anyone discovered what I was, I'd never have a normal life again. I just wanted to belong somewhere. I wanted to be useful and safe and left alone." "Left alone?" Vivian's voice drips with disbelief. You're a phoenix wolf. You're supposed to be a myth. You're worth more than this entire pack combined. I'm not worth anything, Arya snaps. I'm a person. I cook and clean and care for others because that's who I am, not because of what I can shift into. But the prophecies, Garrett begins. I don't care about prophecies. Arya's voice breaks. I care about Emma asking me every morning to braid her hair. I care about making sure Elder Ruth gets her medicine tea before bed. I care about the pack mothers who trust me with their nursing pups when they need a break. That's what matters to me. Not ancient texts or extinct bloodlines or whatever political game you're all about to drag me into. She heads toward the door, but Marcus steps into her path. Up close, she realizes he's trembling slightly. The mighty alpha of Shadowmoon Pack is shaken to his core. Wait, he says. Please. That word, please, from an alpha's lips to a cook's ears. Everything has changed, and Arya feels the foundations of her simple life cracking beneath her feet. What do you want from me? She asks tiredly. Marcus seems to struggle with words, this man who commands hundreds of wolves with ease. I need to understand. How long have you been alone with this secret? Since I was 5, Arya says. That's when my guardian found me wandering in the forest. She never told me where I came from. She said knowing would put me in danger. She taught me to shift into wolf form when I was young, but it hurt, like wearing skin that didn't fit. When I was 12, the other form came through. She made me promise to never show anyone, so I didn't. I locked it away. And when she died 3 years ago, I came here because she'd mentioned Shadowmoon Pack as a good place, a safe place. You accepted me as kitchen help without questions. I've been grateful every day since. You've been hiding royal blood to make soup, Derek says incredulously. I've been living, Arya corrects, really living as myself, without expectations or crowns or duties beyond the ones I choose. She looks at Marcus directly. Can I continue doing that, or do I need to leave? Leave? Marcus looks stricken. Arya, you're still the same person I was 10 minutes ago, she interrupts. Just with a secret you now know. I'm not interested in power or status or whatever you think this means. I'm interested in going back to my kitchen and starting prep for tomorrow's breakfast. Emma likes blueberry pancakes on Tuesdays. A new voice cuts through the tension like a knife through silk. I'm afraid that won't be possible. Everyone turns. A man stands in the council chamber doorway, tall and imposing, with eyes like liquid silver and an aura of command that makes even Marcus look like a subordinate. Arya's never seen him before, but every wolf in the room immediately drops to their knees again, including Marcus. This is an alpha of alphas, a king. Your Majesty, Marcus breathes. We weren't expecting. I felt it, the stranger says, his silver eyes locked on Arya with an intensity that makes her heart race. Every alpha on this continent felt it when she revealed herself. Power like that can't be hidden, not anymore. He walks toward her with predatory grace, and Arya forces herself not to step back. I am Nathaniel Blackthorn, King of the Northern Territories, and you, little Phoenix, are the answer to a question my bloodline has been asking for 300 years. I'm not anyone's answer, Arya says, lifting her chin despite the fear coursing through her. I'm not interested in territorial politics. Nathaniel stops an arm's length away, so close she can feel the heat radiating from him. He's beautiful in the way dangerous things are beautiful, all sharp angles and barely restrained power. You don't have a choice. The moment you shifted, you became the most valuable wolf on this continent. Every pack will want to claim you. Every alpha will want to control you. Every enemy will want to destroy you before you can reach your full power. That's why I never shifted, Arya says. That's why I've been hiding. I don't want any of that. What you want is irrelevant now, Nathaniel says, but not unkindly. His voice drops lower. What matters is keeping you alive, because there are forces in this world that have been waiting for a phoenix wolf to emerge, and not all of them are friendly. As if summoning them with his words, an explosion rocks the council building. Windows shatter inward, spraying glass across the chamber. Screams echo from outside, along with the sounds of wolves snarling and fighting. "Bloodfang pack!" Marcus snarls, already shifting into his wolf form. "They must have been waiting outside, hoping we'd—" Another explosion, closer. The east wall of the chamber cracks, stone crumbling. Nathaniel moves in a blur, positioning himself between Arya and the chaos. They knew. Someone tipped them off that a phoenix would be revealed today. Derek's face goes pale. His mate, Vivian, is nowhere to be seen, slipped away in the confusion. "Your mate was the spy," Garrett growls at Derek. "She must have contacted Bloodfang the moment she scented Arya's true nature." Derek looks shattered, but there's no time to process the betrayal. Wolves are pouring through the broken wall, Bloodfang warriors, at least 20 of them, all focused on a single target, Arya. "Get behind me," Nathaniel commands, his voice carrying the weight of absolute authority. But Arya has spent 8 years caring for this pack. She sees Elder Coleman struggling to stand, blood trickling from a gash on his head. She sees young Garrett trying to protect the archive entrance where centuries of pack history are stored. She sees Marcus fighting 3 wolves at once, desperately trying to reach the door where his daughter might still be in the pack house. Something ignites in her chest. Not just power, purpose. "No," she says to Nathaniel. "You get behind me." Before he can respond, Arya shifts again. The golden light is blinding this time, accompanied by a sound like 1,000 bells ringing. Her phoenix wolf form erupts into being, and with it comes a wave of pure force that sends the attacking Bloodfang wolves tumbling backward. She spreads her wings wide, and they begin to glow with actual flames, not hot enough to burn the stone floor, but bright enough to illuminate the entire chamber like midday sun. The flames dance along her feathers, gold and orange and deep crimson, beautiful and terrifying. A roar tears from her throat, but it's not a wolf's howl. It's the cry of a phoenix, haunting, melodic, and utterly primal. Every wolf in the chamber, friend and foe alike, freezes. The sound touches something ancient in their DNA, something that remembers when phoenix wolves ruled as peacekeepers and protectors. The Bloodfang Alpha, a scarred brute named Rogan, forces himself forward despite the instinct screaming at him to submit. "Kill it," he shouts to his warriors, "before it reaches full power." But Arya isn't waiting to be attacked. She leaps forward with impossible speed, her wings propelling her across the chamber. She doesn't kill, that's not her nature, but she's devastating in her defense. One sweep of her wings sends 3 wolves sprawling. Her powerful jaws close around another's scruff, throwing him back through the broken wall with enough force to ensure he won't get up soon. She fights like she does everything else, with precision, care, and devastating efficiency. Each movement is designed to incapacitate without unnecessary harm. She's protecting, not destroying. Nathaniel shifts into the largest wolf Arya has ever seen, pure black with those same silver eyes, easily twice the size of a normal alpha. He fights beside her with a synchronicity that shouldn't be possible between strangers. When she moves left, he covers her right. When she focuses on the warriors pouring through the wall, he guards her flank against those trying to circle behind. They move like they've been fighting together for years. The battle is over in minutes. The Bloodfang wolves retreat, dragging their wounded, their alpha Rogans snarling threats about vengeance and stolen prizes. But they retreat, and that's what matters. Arya shifts back to human, swaying with exhaustion. Shifting twice in one day after years of suppression has drained her completely. She stumbles, and suddenly Nathaniel is there, human again, catching her before she falls. His arms are strong and warm, and up close, his scent hits her like a physical force. Cedar and winter wind, and something else, something that makes her wolf, her phoenix, sit up and take notice in a way it never has before. "Easy," he murmurs, and his voice is different now, softer. "You haven't shifted in years. Your body needs time to adjust." "Emma," Arya gasps. "I need to make sure Emma is safe, and Elder Coleman. He was bleeding, and—" "Your pack is safe," Nathaniel says. "You made sure of that." His silver eyes search her face. "You could have killed every one of those attackers. Phoenix wolves in legend were known for their battle prowess. But you held back." "I don't want to kill anyone," Arya says. "I just want them to leave my family alone." Something flashes in Nathaniel's eyes. "Your family?" Marcus approaches in human form, his expression complex, gratitude, guilt, awe, and something calculating that makes Arya's stomach sink. "Arya, I owe you an apology, several apologies, and more than that, I owe you—" "You owe me a chance to check on Emma and make sure everyone's wounds are tended," Arya interrupts tiredly. "After that, you can owe me answers about how Bloodfang knew to attack today." "Vivian," Derek says bitterly, limping over with Garrett's support. "She must have sent word the moment she scented you. I'm sorry, Arya. I brought a viper into our pack." Arya wants to comfort him, habit from 8 years of caring for these wolves, but she's too exhausted. Her legs finally give out, and Nathaniel sweeps her up in his arms like she weighs nothing. "She needs rest," he says to Marcus, "and protection. Bloodfang won't be the last to come for her. Every pack with ambitions of power will want to either control her or eliminate her." "She's under Shadow Moon protection," Marcus says firmly. "She's under my protection," Nathaniel corrects, his voice dropping to a possessive growl that raises every hair on Arya's arms. "She's coming with me to the Northern Territory where she can be properly guarded." "I'm not going anywhere," Arya protests weakly from his arms. "I live here. I have responsibilities." "You have a responsibility to stay alive," Nathaniel says. His arms tighten around her almost imperceptibly. "And right now, that means coming somewhere with walls that can withstand an army and guards who have been trained to protect exactly this kind of asset." "I'm not an asset," Arya snaps, finding energy in her anger. "Put me down." "No." The simple refusal stuns her into silence. No one tells an alpha no, especially not one who just revealed herself as legendary royalty. But Nathaniel holds her gaze with his silver eyes, and she sees something there beyond mere stubbornness. Fear. He's afraid for her. "You don't even know me," she whispers. "I know what you are," he says, "and I know what the world will do to you if you're not protected. I've spent my entire reign preparing for this, for you. My bloodline has been bonded to the Phoenix Wolf line since before recorded history. We are meant to protect you." "Bonded how?" Arya asks, though part of her already knows. That pull she felt when she caught his scent, the way they moved together in battle, the fact that her phoenix responded to his presence when it's never responded to anyone before. Nathaniel's jaw tightens. "You know how." The words hang in the air between them, heavy with implication. Mate bond, the connection that supersedes all others in wolf culture, that binds two souls together with threads stronger than steel. "That's impossible," Arya breathes. Mate bonds don't work like that. You can't just decide. I didn't decide, Nathaniel says roughly. The bond decided. My wolf knew you the moment your power touched the air. And your phoenix knows me too, or you wouldn't have fought beside me like you did. Arya wants to deny it, but her phoenix is humming contentedly in her chest, settled in a way it's never been before. Traitor, she thinks at it. Marcus clears his throat awkwardly. Your Majesty, if Arya is your mate, then of course she must go with you. But she's been part of Shadow Moon Pack for 8 years. We would ask for visiting rights, especially for my daughter. Emma is very attached to her. As if summoned, a small voice calls from the hallway. Arya! Emma bursts into the ruined council chamber, her nanny trailing behind her apologetically. The little girl's eyes are wide with tears. Her dark curls disheveled. She sees Arya in Nathaniel's arms and runs toward them without fear, even in the presence of a king. You're bleeding, Emma sobs, reaching for Arya. There's a cut on Arya's arm that she hadn't even noticed, a slice from flying glass. Please don't die. Everyone always dies. The raw pain in those words hits Arya in the chest. Emma lost her mother 2 years ago to illness. She's terrified of losing anyone else. Hey, little star, Arya says softly, and Nathaniel slowly lowers her, so she's sitting on the ground, still supported by him, but able to gather Emma into her arms. I'm okay. It's just a tiny cut. See? Not even bleeding much. Emma buries her face in Arya's shoulder. They said you had to shift. They said you might have to leave. I don't want you to leave. You're my Arya. Over Emma's head, Arya meets Nathaniel's gaze. Something in his expression softens as he watches her comfort the child. I have to go away for a little while, Arya tells Emma gently. But I'll come back to visit, I promise. And maybe you can come visit me too when things are safer. Where are you going? To the Northern Territory, Arya says. To the King's lands. Emma pulls back and looks at Nathaniel with solemn evaluation. Are you really a king? I am, Nathaniel says seriously, treating her question with the respect it deserves. Are you going to take good care of Arya? Emma asks. She always takes care of everyone else. Someone needs to take care of her. Nathaniel's expression does something complicated. I'm going to try. You have to do more than try, Emma says fiercely. You have to promise. On your crown. For the first time since he appeared, Nathaniel smiles, a real smile that transforms his severe features into something almost gentle. I promise on my crown that I will care for Arya to the best of my ability. Emma considers this, then nods. Okay, but if you don't, I'm going to tell my dad to fight you. Emma! Marcus looks mortified, but Nathaniel just laughs, a rich sound that fills the damaged chamber. That's fair. I would expect nothing less from someone Arya has clearly raised well. The compliment settles over Arya like a warm blanket. He sees her, not just the Phoenix Wolf, not just the legendary bloodline, but her, the woman who braids a little girl's hair and makes sure everyone is cared for. We should leave soon, Nathaniel says, standing and offering Arya his hand. Before word spreads further and more packs come hunting. Arya takes his hand and lets him pull her to her feet. Her legs are steadier now, though she's still exhausted. I need to pack and make arrangements. We'll send for your belongings, Nathaniel says. Right now, speed is more important than convenience. At least let me change, Arya protests, looking down at her flour-stained dress. And shower. I probably smell like the kitchen. Nathaniel leans in slightly, and his voice drops to a rumble that only she can hear. You smell perfect. The words send heat through her body. Mate bond or not, she barely knows this man, this king, This person who wants to uproot her entire life for her own protection. But Emma is watching with worried eyes. Marcus is watching with political calculation. The council is watching with a mixture of reverence and greed. And outside these walls, more threats are surely coming. Arya has always been practical above all else, and practically speaking, staying here would endanger everyone she cares about. A phoenix wolf is too valuable, too rare, too powerful. She's a beacon now, drawing danger like moths to flame. "Give me 10 minutes, she tells Nathaniel. "I need to say proper goodbyes." He nods. "I'll have my guards secure the perimeter, but no longer than 10 minutes, Arya. Please." She moves through the pack house in a daze, hugging the elderly wolves who've become like grandparents to her, squeezing Garrett's hand and thanking him for always defending her when others complained about her influence with the Alpha's family. She finds the pack mothers and makes them promise to remember the lullabies she taught them. She even leaves detailed instructions for her replacement in the kitchen, including Emma's favorite recipes and Elder Ruth's special tea blend. When she returns to the council chamber, Nathaniel is waiting with a heavy cloak, his own by the rich scent of cedar and winter wind that clings to it. He drapes it around her shoulders without asking, covering her simple dress with fabric that probably costs more than she's earned in years. "Ready?" he asks. Arya looks around at the only home she's known for 8 years, at the pack that's been her family, at Marcus holding Emma, both of them watching her leave with matching expressions of loss. "No," she admits, "but let's go anyway." Nathaniel's hand finds hers, his fingers interlacing with hers in a gesture that feels both presumptuous and exactly right. "I know this isn't what you wanted. I know you built a life here, a good life, and I'm destroying it by taking you away." "You're not destroying it," Arya says quietly. "You're protecting it. If I stayed, Bloodfang would come back with more warriors. Other packs would follow. The people I love would become collateral damage in a war over something I never asked for." She looks up at him. "I'm not going with you because I accept this mate bond or because I believe in ancient prophecies. I'm going with you because it's the only way to keep my family safe." Nathaniel's jaw tightens. Fair enough. That's honest, at least. They leave Shadowmoon Packlands as the sun sets. Nathaniel's elite guard surrounding them in wolf form while he drives a black SUV with tinted windows. Arya sits in the passenger seat, wrapped in his cloak, watching the forest pass by in darkening shadows. "Tell me about the Northern Territory," she says after a long silence. "It's different from Shadowmoon," Nathaniel says. "More formal, more structured. The pack house is more like a fortress. It was built 300 years ago, when phoenix wolves still ruled, designed specifically to protect and house your kind." "My kind," Arya echoes. "I'm the only one." "That we know of," Nathaniel corrects. Phoenix wolves were scattered when they were hunted to near extinction. Some may have survived in hiding like you. The old texts suggest there should be at least 3 remaining bloodlines, but in 300 years, you're the first to reveal herself. "Lucky me," Arya says dryly. Nathaniel glances at her. "Do you resent what you are?" Arya considers the question seriously. "I resent what people want to make me because of what I am. The actual shifting, the power, that's just me. It's like asking if I resent having brown eyes or being left-handed. It's not good or bad, it just is." That's a remarkably healthy perspective for someone who's been hiding for most of her life. "My guardian taught me that shame over things you can't control is wasted energy," Arya says. "She taught me to hide not because being a phoenix wolf was wrong, but because the world wasn't ready for what I represented. And now the world knows." Nathaniel says grimly. They drive for hours, deep into the northern mountains. The terrain becomes more rugged, the trees taller and more ancient. When they finally pass through massive iron gates, Arya sits up straighter, taking in her first view of Nathaniel's territory. The pack house, calling it a house is laughable, is a sprawling complex of stone buildings that look like they grew from the mountain itself. Walls 20 feet high surround the main compound. Guard towers dot the perimeter. Wolves patrol in organized shifts, their movements military precise. It's a fortress, Arya breathes. It's been attacked 17 times in the last 3 centuries, Nathaniel says. It's never fallen. You'll be safe here, Arya. I promise you that. He pulls up to the main entrance, where a woman in formal attire is waiting, older with steel gray hair and sharp eyes that assess Arya in one sweeping glance. Your Majesty, the woman says with a deep bow. And this must be the Phoenix-born. Welcome to Blackthorn Keep. I am Margaret, head of household. I've prepared the Queen's suite as instructed. Queen's suite? Arya repeats, looking at Nathaniel. The suite built specifically for Phoenix wolves, Margaret explains smoothly. It's been maintained for 300 years in anticipation of your kind's return. His Majesty thought you'd be most comfortable there. Arya wants to protest. She's not a queen, not comfortable with royal treatment. But exhaustion is pulling at her like gravity. The double shift, the battle, the emotional trauma of exposure and exile. It's all catching up at once. Show her up, Nathaniel tells Margaret. I need to debrief my guards and contact the other territorial leaders to inform them of the situation. He looks at Arya. We'll talk more tomorrow. Tonight, just rest. Margaret leads Arya through hallways that seem to stretch forever, past tapestries depicting wolves with flame-edged wings, past portraits of severe-looking rulers from centuries past. Finally, they reach a set of double doors carved with phoenix imagery. The Queen's suite takes Arya's breath away. It's larger than the entire kitchen she worked in at Shadow Moon. Floor-to-ceiling windows look out over a moonlit valley. The furniture is elegant but comfortable, upholstered in golds and deep reds. A massive bed dominates one wall, piled with pillows and furs. There's a sitting area with a fireplace, a private bathing room with a tub large enough to swim in, and a wardrobe already filled with clothes in her size. How did you... Arya starts. His Majesty sent your measurements ahead while we were traveling, Margaret says. He's been preparing for your arrival for some time. How long is some time? Margaret's expression softened slightly. His Majesty has been searching for Phoenix Wolf survivors since he took the throne 15 years ago. He's followed every rumor, investigated every anomaly. When you revealed yourself today, I don't think I've ever seen him move so fast. He was in the air within minutes. Arya sinks onto the edge of the enormous bed. He really believes in this mate bond. He believes in protecting what's precious, Margaret says carefully. The bond it's complicated, I'm sure, but his commitment to your safety is absolute. You should know that. She moves toward the door. Ring if you need anything. Food will be brought up shortly. His Majesty mentioned you'd been through a difficult day. After Margaret leaves, Arya sits in the silent opulence of her new prison. Because that's what this is, isn't it? A beautiful, comfortable, well-intentioned prison. She's safe here, protected by walls and guards, and a king who claims she's his destined mate. But she's also trapped. She walks to the windows and looks out at the unfamiliar landscape. Somewhere far south, Emma is probably crying herself to sleep. Elder Ruth is likely worrying about who will remember her evening tea. Marcus is dealing with the political fallout of harboring a phoenix wolf unknowingly for 8 years. And Arya is here, removed from everything and everyone she's built her life around because of a genetic lottery she never wanted to win. A knock at the door interrupts her spiraling thoughts. "Come in," she calls, expecting Margaret with food. But it's Nathaniel who enters, carrying a tray himself. He's changed from his formal clothes into simple dark pants and a fitted shirt that emphasizes his powerful build. His silver eyes find her immediately, scanning her with clear concern. "You should be resting," he says. "So should you," Arya counters. "I thought you had territorial leader business." "Delegated it?" He sets the tray on the low table near the fireplace. "I wanted to make sure you ate. Margaret mentioned you often forget to feed yourself when you're stressed." How would Margaret know that? Nathaniel has the grace to look slightly embarrassed. "I may have had reports compiled on you over the past few hours. Everyone at Shadowmoon was eager to share information about their beloved cook. You investigated me. I protected you," he corrects. "Part of protection is understanding vulnerabilities, and apparently one of yours is forgetting to eat when you're caring for everyone else." Despite herself, Arya's lips twitch toward a smile. "That's actually accurate." "Eat," Nathaniel says, gesturing to the tray. It's simple food, soup, bread, fruit, but the soup smells like the recipe she used to make for herself late at night when everyone else was fed and asleep. "How did you—" "Your kitchen supplies," Nathaniel says. "I had them document your personal ingredients. I wanted you to have something familiar." The thoughtfulness of it breaks something in Arya's chest. She sits on the sofa and picks up the soup, taking a sip. It's not quite right, missing her special blend of herbs, but it's close enough to make her throat tight. Nathaniel sits across from her, not crowding her but present. "You're angry with me." "I'm not angry," Arya says. "I'm grieving, I think. I lost my whole life today." "I know." His voice drops. "And I'm sorry. If there was any other way—" "There isn't," Arya interrupts. "I know that. Logically, I know you're right. Staying would have endangered everyone. Coming here was the smart choice, but smart doesn't make it hurt less." They sit in silence while Arya eats. Nathaniel doesn't try to fill the quiet with empty reassurances. He just stays, solid and present, while she processes her loss. "Tell me about the mate bond," Arya finally says. "The real version, not the romantic legend. What does it actually mean?" Nathaniel leans back, his expression turning serious. For most wolves, it's a pull toward someone compatible, strong enough to notice, gentle enough to ignore if circumstances prevent the match. For alphas, it's deeper, more instinctive. We're driven to protect our mates above all else, to provide for them, to be near them. And for phoenix wolves, according to the old texts, phoenix wolves experience the bond differently. It's not about possession or territory, it's about balance, completion. The legends say phoenix wolves burn too bright alone, that they need an anchor to help channel their power safely, and that certain alpha lines, specifically mine, evolved to serve as that anchor. "So you're like a magical grounding wire?" Arya says skeptically. Nathaniel's lips quirk. "I've never heard it described quite that way, but essentially, yes. My bloodline is supposed to help stabilize your power. Keep it from consuming you as it has other phoenix wolves in history. Without a bonded alpha, phoenix wolves could burn themselves out, literally according to some accounts. With a bond," he pauses, "with a bond, you could live for centuries and never dim." Arya sets down her soup. "That sounds like a very convenient legend for alphas who want to control phoenix wolves." "It does," Nathaniel agrees. "Which is why I'm not asking you to accept the bond immediately. I'm asking you to stay here, stay safe, and let us figure out what this connection means on your terms, at your pace. And if I decide it means nothing? Pain flashes across Nathaniel's face, quickly masked. Then I'll still protect you. You'll still have a home here, safety here, for as long as you need it. The bond doesn't require reciprocation to be honored on my end. Arya studies him, this king who drove hours to bring her soup that tastes like home, who's offering her space in the same breath as protection, whose hands grip his knees tightly like he's physically restraining himself from reaching for her. What do you feel? She asks quietly. When you look at me, what does the bond make you feel? Nathaniel's silver eyes meet hers with raw honesty. Like I've been incomplete my entire life and didn't know it until today. Like every decision I've made, every battle I've fought, every moment of my reign has been leading to you. Like if something happened to you, I'd tear the world apart to fix it. He pauses. And like I'd be content to spend the rest of my existence making sure you smile the way you smiled at that little girl today. The words settle into Arya's chest, dangerous and warm. I can't promise to feel the same, she whispers. I'm not asking you to, Nathaniel says. I'm asking you to give yourself time to heal from what today took from you, to let yourself be cared for the way you've cared for others, to be safe and protected and free to discover what you want, not what destiny or prophecy or ancient bonds expect from you. Arya's phoenix stirs inside her, pressing against her ribs like it's trying to reach toward him, but her human heart is more cautious. Okay, she finally says. I'll stay. I'll let you protect me. But the mate bond? That's something we figure out slowly, if we figure it out at all. Nathaniel nods, and the relief on his face is palpable. Thank you. That's all I'm asking. He stands to leave, but pauses at the door. Arya, for what it's worth, the way you protected Shadowmoon today, the way you fought to defend people who were ready to exile you an hour before, that's the kind of strength legends are made of, not your phoenix form, you. He leaves before she can respond, the door clicking softly shut behind him. Arya sits in her beautiful prison, wrapped in a king's cloak, tasting soup that reminds her of home. Outside, guards protect walls that have never fallen. Inside, her phoenix purrs contentedly for the first time in her memory. And despite everything she lost today, despite the life torn away from her, despite the uncertainty of mate bonds and destiny and prophecies, Arya thinks maybe, just maybe, she might be exactly where she's supposed to be. She finishes her soup, climbs into the enormous bed, and falls asleep wrapped in furs that smell like cedar and winter wind. And if she dreams of silver eyes and strong hands and wings that burn with flame, well, that's between her and her phoenix. Tomorrow, she'll figure out what comes next. Tomorrow, she'll video call Emma and make sure her little star knows she's safe. Tomorrow, she'll start navigating this new life she never asked for. But tonight, for the first time in 8 years, Arya lets herself be protected instead of protector. And it feels like coming home. Thanks for watching. If you want to see another story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. See you in the next video.